Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Thursday, October the 14th. The year's 2021. Let's talk trading. Where to begin? Part 4 with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and differ from Walmal's. Walmal, welcome back.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been for me. It's been a pretty tough summer, and now going into the fall. But that's why I haven't been around with you all very much. But not in terms of trading. Trading's been going very well. It's just a lot of personal things going on. So I apologize for that.
Oh, no need
But
to apologize, but I've been talking to the traders about where to begin because there was a couple of traders contacted me and they wanted to know, where should they start? What method should they use? So I'm just going to pass the mic to you and let you put your 2 cents in or 2 pips in.
well, I'm going to go and say, well, the first thing is that I wouldn't even start with what method yet. I wouldn't even start with that. I mean, I think the very first thing that you got to start with is what's your capital? Where are you going to start with that? How much capital do you have put aside that you can go and say, legitimately, I can go and burn this money in the street and it doesn't affect me, and I won't be all that upset. I can consider it to be a learning curve. That's the first place where you got to start. You need to go and figure it out. And the thing is, it doesn't need to be thousands of dollars. It doesn't even need to be hundreds of dollars. It could be, $50, because that's, I know that you complain and I've complained as well when they went to the fifth digit, but the one advantage of it is that we can get in at a very, very small level and, and go and trade at 0.00001, and be able to trade with that and learn. So that's the first thing I would start with is, how much money am I willing to go and lose? So we can go and manage that and figure that out. So that's where I would start. The second thing is, once you have that, the second thing is, okay, figure out your platform. If you're listening to this channel, probably your platform is going to be MT4, because that's what we use here, and that's what you'll see on these videos all the time. So it would only make sense to use MT4. So if you're going to do that, get yourself, get MT4 on your charts, learn it. And I don't just mean learn it so that you can go and place a trade and get actually. I mean, learn it, know everything about it. Learn where everything is, how to change things, so that it becomes a situation where if you're in a stressful situation, you can go and do what you got to do in order to manage everything. Because let's face it, if you're in a trade that's going against you, and for some reason you can't get the terminal up for some strange reason, well, guess what? You can go and close trades out without using the terminal. Do you know how to do that? Well, learn how to do those things, because software is software, and sometimes things happen with computers. So figure those things out. Learn it inside and out. So those are the very first two things I would start learning. The third thing is, and I stress this so much, and for me, it's been my personal journey, and that is, you need to go and figure out who you are. Okay, you need to know yourself. You need to know everything about yourself. You need to know what affects you, what doesn't affect you, and how to go about that. And because that's going to affect what trades you take, what trades you don't take, and more importantly, sometimes is when you've taken a trade, what's going to affect you in getting in a trade and getting out of a trade. We were talking earlier, Tiro, about I'd taken like 1 or 2 pips, and I said to you, hey, that doesn't affect me. The fact that it just ran up 8, 9, 10 pips. It really doesn't. I know that for a fact, but for somebody else, that may affect them now. I left 8 pips on the table, I left 10 pips on the table. Oh, look how much money I left behind, and they get all upset about that. I don't, and that's not because I'm better than somebody else. It's just that that's who I am. Okay, know who you are. If you're a person that gets upset with that, well, maybe you need to go and figure out what to do so that you can go and grab more of the pips, and which sometimes what that means is that you risk less lots, per trade, and that way you can grab more of the pips, and that's, and you have to go and dictate your account size. I tend to go and risk a lot of my account size. So for me, I'd rather go and put the money in the bank. You like to go and say, a pip in the bank is better than two pips on paper. Well, yeah, it absolutely is, and I kind of trade that way. So, but that's me. That's not necessarily somebody else. Excuse me. So I'd say those are the three biggest things. Next thing, then we can start talking methods. But you got to figure those first three things out. When you start talking methods, for me anyway, start looking at the statistics, see what you see what you like, see what you don't like, see what makes sense to you. And by doing that, you're able to go and, figure out a method that's gonna work, for you. And then, finally practice. And once you know your platform, don't just practice with demo money. Practice with real money. Even if you're only going in, literally risking a penny a pip. Practice with real money, because that's going to bring in this element of emotion, and that is a huge game changer in any type of trading, not just Forex, but any type of trading. It really affects how you think things through, and so you need to go and practice with real live money, because if you're sitting there and you wind up losing, even let's say you got a very small micro account, even if you just lose a couple dollars, that's that has an emotional effect on you. Well, how do you deal with that emotion? Learn how to deal with that emotion, which goes back to, one of my previous points. Know who you are. Learn how to control your emotions, manage your emotions. We say that all the time. In fact, I don't know if you still have that screen in the beginning of videos, but that's part of that brain management, and it's just so important.
Yeah, I still have brain management. I just put it up. Yeah.
So, so those are the things that are most important, I think. And I don't like going and saying, you should do this method, because, the problem with that is a methodology that may work for me may not work for you. And that's just the reality. And it's sort of like, you see these guys, different forums, this, that, famous guys. And he's like, well, what was your method? I did this. And they're making money. You see their tally sheets. You see their terminal reports. And it's like, and then I go out and I try to do the same thing and I blow it up and I can't do it. Does that mean that the guy's lying? Maybe not. Probably not. It's just that we all approach the table differently. We all come from different perspectives. We all have different pasts. We all have, different bringing ups. And so, we're going to go and deal with things differently. And that has a lot to do with whatever methodology you use. What do I like to do? Of course, I like to use the Walmal method. I mean, I made a lot of money doing that. I love doing DSR trades. Been playing around with that exclusively almost now for several months and doing very well with it. And I will admit, in the beginning, when I first started trading it, I was making money, but not like I'm doing right now. Why? Because I had, going back to that, the triple P, practice.
Well, but still, I mean, a beginning trader, you're not necessarily telling them that they have to trade this method and only trade this method, but it's just like, hey, there's hundreds or thousands of methods. What method would you suggest?
The simplest method you can find that you can understand. Okay, that would be my suggestion. So, and the reason why is because there's so much other stuff that you're learning. You want to keep it as simple as possible. So, that old adage, keep it simple, stupid, that would be my guess. That would be my thing. So if methods that would work like that, the Walmal method, the holo trades, trading inside bars, they're all very, very simple methods. Basically, you draw a horizontal line. You say, okay, if it crosses this line, I'm in the trade. And I put lines on my chart where I'm going to try to get out, and I put a line on my chart of what I'm willing to lose. It's just that simple. That's the great thing about those type of trades. You're in it or you're out. You're in the trade, and you really don't have a choice of getting in a trade. You drew a line and said that's the line in the sand, and you're out of the trade because you drew a line in the sand. So it makes it very, very simple. Less stress that way.
So, is there anything else you think a beginning trader should focus on?
It really comes, we really, I think we've really covered the most important things for me anyway, the most important things. But the thing is, I'm going to go back to the practice thing again, and I'm just going to maybe hit it from a different angle. And that is that the reality is that, would you get into an airplane with a pilot where it was his first day ever flying? Or would that be nuts? I would think that would be pretty nuts to go and do that.
Well, are you talking about this is his first time in the cockpit? Or this is his first time in the cockpit and he's already passed all his exams and he's got his license?
Well, either case, because the thing is, I can go, and here's the reason why I say either case. First time in the cockpit, never even took any of the qualifications that are necessary. Would you fly in that plane? You'd probably be out of your mind to do that, right? Probably wouldn't do that. But at the same time, even a guy who may have, let's say he's got his pilot license, but this is his first time that he's soloing, okay, or whatever the terminology is, would you even want to go and get into a plane with him? I probably would. I think I'd prefer to go and have the guy who's got maybe 1,000 or 2,000 hours, because the guy who's just passed his license, if everything goes right, he's probably going to do pretty well. But what if he runs into something that's going to be, going to be a problem? Would you want that guy if you were going to have a bird come into your plane, or would you rather have Sully who went and had that happen and he landed in the Hudson River and not a single person got hurt? I think I'd rather have Sully who had, 25 years of experience at that point in time? That's just me. So now let's equate that to trading. How do you get those hours of trading? I call it butt time.
Seat time, yeah.
You got to sit on your butt and just work. And that's just, nothing in this life is free. In fact, I ran into a guy in a store yesterday, and he got a great T-shirt on, and on the front of the T-shirt it says "Nothing is ever given to you," and on the back of his T-shirt said "Everything is earned." Mm-hmm. And he's right. You have to earn it. You have to go out there and do it, and learn it and earn it. And that's what we have to do. So, if you're the type of person that quits right away, this isn't for you. I don't want to be harsh or anything, but this isn't for you. This isn't something that, okay, I lost my job yesterday, and by next week I'm going to be making thousands of dollars. Okay, it's just not going to happen. Let's be honest about it. So go out there, educate yourself, learn, practice, and you can make thousands of dollars. There's no question about it. But the thing is, you need to go and put the time in.
Is there anything a new trader should avoid?
Yeah, method hopping. Okay, just because you tried a method and it worked the first day, and then it didn't work the next 3 days after that, and then okay, I'm going to find a new method. Okay, or when I say method hopping, you can also even expand that to, instrument hopping, anything where you're just hopping and skipping around, going from one thing to another thing to another thing. It's like anything else. You don't become good at anything unless you stick to it and actually apply the trade, and actually go and try it and work it. That's what you got to do. Try it and work it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The fastest 15 minutes in trading is almost up. So, boys and girls and non-binary traders, I hope you were able to get something from what Walmal just shared with you. And, when you sit down in front of your trading platform, always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. And hit subscribe, hit like. And this is TheRumpledOne, over and out.